Each and every Thursday, sportsmemo.com goes back in time and you can daily pick packages priced at only $5. And yes, for those wondering, that includes 5% best bets, normally priced at $30. This is the real Throwback Thursday. As an added bonus, all first-time customers will be credited $25 in WagerBucks after their initial $5 purchase. So each and every Thursday, make sure to go to sportsmemo.com and get best bets from the hottest cappers for only $5. Each and every Thursday, sportsmemo.com goes back in time and you can daily pick packages priced at only $5. And yes, for those wondering, that includes 5% best bets, normally priced at $30. This is the real Throwback Thursday. As an added bonus, all first-time customers will be credited $25 in WagerBucks after their initial $5 purchase. So each and every Thursday, make sure to go to sportsmemo.com and get best bets from the hottest cappers for only $5.
Hey, Teddy Covers, it's me, Lawrence Presman. Welcome, everyone, to WagerTalk Today. Nothing like starting the show with 2 thumbs down already. I want to thank our competitors for taking time out of their day to log on and give us a thumbs down 5 minutes before the show actually begins. Teddy, I take it as a compliment, man. I mean, if you're going to put your alarm on as a competitor, you're so scared of us that you actually have to remember to give us a thumbs down before the show begins. I say thumbs up, baby. Like the WWF. Call out the big boys. Well, we're here every day, 12 to 1 Eastern. Log on, give us a thumbs down, and then disappear because you know what, Teddy? We got an army of fans who is going to negate those thumbs down. We're already at 27 thumbs up. I'll get us to 100 before Kelly is off the show. So bugger off, competitors. We take it as a compliment. We love it. We appreciate it. Thank you for logging on. Okay, that's my rant. Kelly freaking Stewart. I mean, are you kidding me? A thumbs down on a show with Kelly? Oh, my lordy lord. It must be a guy who she ignored one time when he was trying to get her autograph. Although that doesn't sound like Kelly. She's going to talk Kansas State, Nebraska, Penn State. Oh, no. Yeah. And Iowa State versus OU. I'm riled up, Teddy. I'm riled up. Carmine, Bianco after that. What's going on with you, bro?
How are you today, Lawrence? It appears that
I'm riled up, baby.
If that's what 2 thumbs down does for you, let's see what happens when now word gets out and we get 10 before the show starts. We do appreciate all the likes. We appreciate all the follows. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Before we start the show, a couple of weeks ago, Bitcoin down in the low. Well, I'm talking Canadian dollars in the low 50s. Kelly, actually, I think it was a show Kelly was on. I told everybody I'm holding and not to sell. It's now over 70 in the Canadian dollar zone, so around 50. Huge jump. This show gives a lot of advice, Teddy, not just sports betting. I mean, you want to know what to watch on TV? I'm the man. You want to know how to cut your hair? Teddy's the man. You want to know about crypto? I'm the man. You want to know about college basketball? Everybody's the freaking man. Teddy, I got to breathe, man. What happened last night in the world of sports?
Absolutely. It's time for a little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books of recap of what happened in the sports betting world over the last 24 hours. And last night, there were 2 bad beats that didn't happen, but they're certainly worth talking about. Oral Roberts. They're +1 in the game. They're up 25 at halftime. That's a no sweat winner. They blow the entire lead. You know the team's going to get crushed in overtime after you blow a 25-point lead in the second half. The dude gets fouled, misses the first, hits the second. North Dakota State misses, fouls, turnover, end up losing by 3. Oral Roberts cashes. They blew that entire 25-point lead. They were +1, though, but it was a freaking sweat. Oh, yeah. The game sneaks over 145.5 with those last 2 made free throws. Here's another one that wasn't. Manhattan Fairfield under 125.5. Fairfield's up 4. They're at the free throw line. There's 12 seconds left. It's 48-44, as under as you can get. You got 125.5. You're at the free throw line up 4 with 12 seconds left. You can't lose this one. Well, they didn't, but they came close. Dude misses both free throws, then an and one at the other end, 48-47. 2 made free throws at the other end, 50-47, and the obligatory 3 at the buzzer, going to overtime, tied at 50. But the basketball gods kept it a 1-possession game in the final minute of overtime. Fairfield missed more game-clinching free throws, only to win by a point, 59-58. The under survives overtime. Fairfield +3 survives overtime, too. So 2 bad beats that weren't. But it took years off of people's lives last night. Bad bets. Look, yesterday, Gonzaga. They took all the money against BYU, -12 up to -14. The Zags can't cover every game. The Cougs actually had them on upset alert for a long time. Gonzaga pulls away late, but they only win by 10. Bad bet for Gonzaga. Iona Quinnipiac total yesterday, 139.5 up to 145. Final score 72-48. Quinnipiac couldn't score, 28% from the floor, 26% from 3, but at least they hit 45% from the free throw line. That game stayed way under. Bad bet for overbetters. Bad for the books. Both a couple games in the ACC were bad yesterday. I was an idiot on Big Game Breakdown. I leaned Duke and liked the over. Well, I was dumb as a rock. The sharp money had Duke right. They were as low as -10 at the open. They closed -13. They won by 35. And nobody laid with Pitt against Miami. It was all Miami money yesterday. Good thing the game was early. Canes win outright by 6. Both Duke and Miami, bad results for the books. There you have it, Prez. A little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. It's almost Kelly Stewart time.
That it is, my friend. Before we get into the Kelly segment, one of our listeners, our faithful viewers, said, Prez, give us some crypto advice. So I'm going to, because this is my field. I know my shit. Guys, I'm going to tell you, rather than giving you advice, because there's no point. All I'm going to do is tell you what I did. I bought a bunch of Ethereum yesterday, and I bought thousands of dollars worth of Ripple XRP, 60 cents Canadian at the time. Sorry, I'm speaking Canadian dollars. But that's what I did. So you can take that as advice, or you can just take it as that's what Prez did. And if you want to tag along, tag along. But I am big in Ethereum and big in XRP. I don't believe in XRP, but I believe there's a move coming. I think it could go up substantially over the next 12 months. I think you can 10x your money on XRP, but I do think Bitcoin is still the way to go. It's just sort of priced in an area where a lot of people can't really take advantage of it, and I respect that. So take advantage of the smaller cryptos and let them sort of follow in the Bitcoin wake, if you will. Ethereum, XRP. Speaking of the best, Kelly Stewart joining us. Oh, no, there she is. Kel, how are you, man? We love having you on.
Have time to be logging on and doing that. They've got some work to do. I had a friend who was a competitor said they were down 70% last year. I said, yeah, that's tough. You know, during a pandemic, I can't say the same. So it is what it is. When you're the man on top, everybody trying to climb that mountain to get there. So congratulations to us at WagerTalk for being number one.
There you go. Kelly Stewart, everyone. And Kel, you've been playing a lot of NBA of late. You really said you were going to hold off on college basketball until the tournaments start. Well, the tournaments have started. So let's get into our first game. Kansas State versus TCU. TCU was minus 4.5 when we spoke. Bet down to 3.5 now. What do we do with a 6:30 p.m. Eastern game?
I'm loving this reverse line movement, Prez. I locked it in last night when I spoke with you. I locked in +4. I still think +3.5 is going to be okay because I think K-State's going to win this game. Now, full disclosure, for those that don't know, I am a K-State alumni, but I have been over the years been able to bet against this team on multiple occasions. So don't take that for what it is. This is a team that's won 3 of their last 4, and they have something to build on. Now, as a K-State fan, I said, hey, Bruce Weber, see you later. We're done with you. Guess what? They beat Oklahoma. That may have saved his job, but it also kind of turned this season around. I think this Wildcats team wants to show some promise here in this Big 12 tournament. Neutral court, 3.5 points against a TCU team that is not much better. Yes, they have a few more wins on the season, but as far as against the spread goes, who is TCU to be laying 3.5 to anyone? And that is my first question to Teddy Covers. That's why I'm looking at this Wildcats team +4. I think they might even be worth a little sprinkle on the money line.
Well, I mean, so in conference tournament play, any underdog I'm backing, I'm taking them on the money line as well as plus the points. And the only question is what the ratio is. In this one, I want to ask you, I mean, TCU certainly not a favorite that anyone appears to be confident in laying points with. For a ratio here, would you split your wager 50-50 between plus the points and on the money line? Would you put it all on the money line? Would you make it 3/4 plus the points and 1/4 on the money line? How would you split out your wagers here on the Kansas State Wildcat to maximize your return on investment?
So, Teddy, I actually did do a full 2 units on K-State +4. And then what I was waiting for was to find the best money line after the show because I had started looking at some of my notes and I said, I think this is worth the money line sprinkle. As you mentioned, you prefer to do that during these conference tournaments. So I will have what I would call a 1/4 unit bet on the money line on this team. I'm not doing anything too crazy again. This is still not neither of these teams are very great, right? So this is not I'm super confident K-State's going to win this game. I think K-State has all the tools to win this game. I think that they should be able to win this game, but I've also seen them lose games in horrific fashions this year. So I'm not going overboard on my money line bet.
Kel, the money line bet is interesting here because it's minus 3.5. And yet you're getting plus 150 on the money line. From a value perspective, that is exceptional. So I actually like that idea of doing a little bit of a split because at plus 150, I mean, we're talking about 4 points. So nicely said.
I think this is a good, really learning point. This is something that it took me a while to understand because I was always looking for those money line dogs. And the money line and the spread don't always correlate, right? I think what we're seeing here is probably a ton of TCU money line being bet instead of people laying the 3.5 here. And that's why you're getting the nice plus 150. Teddy, if there's something you want to add to that, I always think it's something that is assumed in sports betting that everybody knows, but it's not actually understood.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it right there. It is worth noting that plus 150, that's not the prevailing line right now. You can find plus 150s. They're out there. Plus 140, plus 145, more the prevailing number. That said, the concept of this line is a little bit distorted because many of the wise guys who are supporting the favorite are taking them on the money line. That's a concept that makes perfect sense. And it looks a little bit distorted. So there may be some additional value with the Wildcats, not at the plus the points, but at the plus price.
Kelly Stewart joining us, everybody. Kel, let's get into the Nebraska Penn State game. Minus 6.5, total of 146.5. It's a 9 p.m. game. It has been bet down slightly. I mean, there's a few 6s around, but it is holding Penn State to the favorite. What do you like here?
This one's interesting because Nebraska, we've been calling it Nebraska ball. How cheesy is that on Twitter? But they've been really good to us this last couple of weeks. And so I've been following this team really close, but I think they've reached their threshold. I think this line is really cheap for a Penn State team that has just not done well this season. I do think Penn State has showed some promise and can get this job done. I looked at this. I made the game 9.5. So when I'm looking at this going, what am I missing here? Then you're telling me we got money coming in on Nebraska. Well, when Nebraska covers basically 6 of their last 9, I got to double check that 100% here. But this is a Penn State team that's just not getting any love. Nebraska covered 4 of their last 6 of their last 9. This is just a Nebraska team that I think is getting too much love. I like Penn State here. I'm going to lay the 6.5. If you mentioned there's 6s, I'm going to keep an eye on that. See if we can't get a better number. But I don't see Nebraska keeping that threshold of overachieving going here.
I mean, Penn State hasn't won they won 1 game since January by enough to cover this point spread. But they're certainly not a team that wins games by margin very easily. And both previous meetings with Nebraska, they lost by a point and they won by 3. They were -11 at home and -6.5 on the road. So the point spread has been adjusted. They were -6.5 in Lincoln. Now it's -6.5 on a neutral. But we haven't seen the Nittany Lions able to pull away and stay away on any consistent basis. Are you worried about that at all when you look at the Penn State side of the equation?
I actually was looking at them in the first half, Teddy, and debating whether that was going to be a better play for me, because I do feel like they come out hard, and then in that second half, they start to just slow down. And I don't have a reasoning for that. And I wish that I had a better database to find first half line. So if anybody has a great college basketball database for that, drop it in the chat, because I'd love to know. Teddy maybe does. Maybe Teddy's got someone to plug. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so that was when Dave Malinsky passed 3 years ago. That was the big project that he was working on, was getting all the halftime stuff together into one database, because it wasn't out there anywhere, to the best of my knowledge. Unfortunately, he passed, and to the best of my knowledge, no one has picked up that project. So good luck finding the first half databases. I don't know that they're in existence.
Yeah, I didn't think that there would be, because I've done my job scouring the internet trying to find that. But this is a Penn State team that I've watched on several occasions. As I mentioned, I really focus on Big Ten and Big 12 basketball when I do. And I told you guys I was going to take a hiatus because it just got ice cold there for a little bit. Hopefully we can pick up some steam here throughout the tournaments.
Kel, before we get into the Iowa State-Oklahoma game, I think it's International Women's Day. It was yesterday or the day before. I know
Yes.
this week is International Women's Week or whatever. I just want to point out, flat out, I mean, you're living in the moment right now, but when all's said and done, I'm speaking to some of the big networks up in Canada. They know who you are. I was speaking to some massive podcast guys. They know who you are. The bottom line, Kel, and I mean this sincerely, is you have literally you are a trailblazer in the sports betting consulting industry. People do not realize how hard that is and the path that you have taken, but you literally sit on top of this mountain, and the Minties and the Rubies and the people on Barstool Sports and the people on ESPN betting shows and on Yahoo betting shows. The females that come behind you are walking on your shoulders. And I just wanted to say that, because it is an achievement Teddy and I will never be able to recreate. That is for sure.
Genetically, that doesn't work for you guys. But no, I appreciate the kind words. Prez, yesterday I joked with Ariel Epstein. She's over at Sport Grid. She and I share a lot of things in common.
She's awesome.
She and I, we decided to pat each other on the back yesterday as a joke. And that is because, I want it to be every day that somebody thinks that way about me. That's the arrogance, not just one day of the year. So she and I had a fun joke regarding that.
Kel, it's not just our listeners and the people inside of the betting industry that feels this way. When you're speaking to networks in Canada and they know who Kelly Stewart is.
So you're saying maybe my next job is going to be in Canada? It's a little cold, I think.
Iowa State versus OU, -11.5. Let's go.
Too many points. look, this Iowa State team may just get the bricks blown off them, and you guys can tell me how stupid I am. This is way too many points. I made this game 8.5. I know Iowa State only has 2 wins on the season. I know they don't have any Big 12 wins. I'm not saying they're going to win this game. I understand that. They are 0-17 straight up this year in Big 12 play. I get it. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games. This is not a team that I want to back, but this is too many points to back the Sooners. I took Iowa State plus the 11.5. It's going to be ugly. I don't have anything good to say about them other than this is a purely based on math play. Plug your nose, close your eyes, get to that window. Hopefully you guys can get a 12. I actually got 11. And so at 11.5, I was kicking myself going, I knew I should have waited, but I was hoping that someone else would agree that this was too many points. Teddy's smirking. I want to hear what Teddy has to say about Oklahoma because I think he probably thinks the opposite of me.
I'm not smirking. I've done that. I've held my nose and bet Iowa State at least twice this year, once large, and both times I was very frustrated with the result. You know, Cyclones have had a very, very rough season, and they didn't show any signs of turning things around down the stretch. We like Lon Kruger. Why are you fading Lon Kruger? Don't you think this Sooners team is a little sleeper, maybe poised to make a run in this tournament?
Not in this tournament. I think they are poised to make a run in the big tournament. I do think that there are a couple of teams that the Big 12 tournament doesn't necessarily mean anything to. And if you have an early exit, you get to go home, recoup those sore legs, and get poised for the real tournament. Now, I'm not saying Lon doesn't have this team focused, but this is something we see from the Kansas Jayhawks. This is something we may see from the Baylor Bears, something we may see from Oklahoma, where this tournament doesn't matter because their eyes are on the big prize. Again, I think Oklahoma is going to win this game. I think they'll advance to the next round. I just don't know how they're going to get up and try to beat the bricks off of a crappy Iowa State team that even K-State got the cover against and beat by 5 in their last game. This is not some motivational spot, right? And that's my only concern here with somebody rushing to lay the points with Oklahoma that they should be looking at here.
You know, Kel, I don't normally ask follow-up questions in this segment, but, you know, I listen to the guests and I like to hear their intonation and their confidence and how they break the games down. And it really feels to me like Oklahoma first half might sound like the best bet in this game based on sort of how you're approaching it.
You know, I do think Oklahoma may get out there. They may be excited. No, I don't. I can't. I'm trying to make a case for you, Prez. I don't think so. I think Iowa State is probably going to win this by a backdoor cover. That's probably how I'm going to get a cash this ticket because Oklahoma gets lackadaisical. They stop caring. There's no reason to keep their foot on the gas. I can see your Oklahoma first half play. I just really think they're going to be disinterested this entire game. I mean, this is literally an Iowa State team that K-State could have blown out last week, and they just kind of had a little bit of fight in them and were able to get the push depending on when you bet that game.
Kelly Stewart, everyone. Kel, tell us what's going on in your jam-packed schedule. Where can people see you? Where can people hear you, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, we had an audible call. Normally we do the NBA bet streams on Mondays and Thursdays. We're going to be doing one tonight. So excited to cover some NBA action after the All-Star break. And it's my sister's birthday, so happy birthday to Nevada. I know you're not watching, but I haven't called you yet. So if for some reason somebody sees this and is in Denver, Colorado and knows my sister, tell her happy birthday for me. And that's really about it, Prez. Right now I'm on cruise control, just picking a couple of games here and there every day. Last night I had Wake Forest. On Sunday I had Michigan State. Just picking and choosing a couple of spots here. Trying to, show some face. I had a really bad betting week last week, and Twitter got to see that meltdown on my airplane ride once I started realizing how bad it really was, plugging things into my spreadsheet. And that's what I'm going to be doing on Friday. I'm going to be spending a lot of time breaking down some of these games. I'm going to be spending a lot of time watching these games because I got to hit the ground running come March 18th.
Kelly Stewart, everyone, and your sister's name, Nevada.
Yes,
I'd like to congratulate your parents.
Name.
Unbelievable name. That's
How did she get the name Nevada and I got stuck with Kelly? I don't know.
You know what, Kelly? It's so funny. I mean, you guys know Joe Gavazzi, famous handicapper in this industry. Me and him used to work together. He had twins, 2 boys, named one Zane and the other Henry. And I'm like, really, Joe? Henry's going to be pretty pissed. Yeah. Your parents killed
Thank you, Prez. I'm Henry.
You are the Henry. Okay, Hank Stewart, get the hell out of here. We're right back with Teddy Covers' big game breakdown.
Each and every Thursday, sportsmemo.com goes back in time and you can daily pick packages priced at only $5. And yes, for those wondering, that includes 5% best bets, normally priced at $30. This is the real Throwback Thursday. As an added bonus, all first-time customers will be credited $25 in wager bucks after their initial $5 purchase. So each and every Thursday, make sure to go to sportsmemo.com and get best bets from the hottest cappers for only $5.
It is big game breakdown time. Let's talk a little Pac-12 action. Early start, afternoon action, 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 1 p.m. here on the left coast. Of course, that would be the opener, Washington State and Arizona State. Right now, Arizona State, let's call them -1. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, there are a couple of pick'ems out there, but the prevailing line is -1 total, sitting in the 144.5 range. And look, let me make this very clear. I want no part of Arizona State right now. When you talk about a team that absolutely tanked down the stretch, that would be the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now, a lot of times we look at teams that tank down the stretch and say, hey, new life, conference tournament action. All they got to do is win a handful of games and they can make a run to the big dance. I'm not sensing any of that from Arizona State right now. This is a team that's been a major disappointment from day one this year. It's a team that is still dealing with injuries and attrition. It's a team that, when the coach called the meeting and brought everyone together prior to their regular season finale, they buy into what Bobby Hurley was telling them? No, they ended up losing by 40. Okay. Now they haven't played since. Washington State has fought hard under Kyle Smith. They're in revenge. They lost on a 3-pointer at the buzzer to the Sun Devils in Tempe in their last game. They haven't played in 11 days. They're a younger team than Arizona State, but I think they're the better team. They snapped an 11-year losing streak in the Pac-12 tourney last year, winning their opener before the tournament got canceled. I think they get another win here. I really do. This is a squad that's getting better. Here's a quote from Coach Smith. You're always tired at this time of year, but good programs get better. These guys have emerging talent. This isn't just a bunch of giggles down in Las Vegas. We want to play well in this and hopefully play in the big one after this. Washington State, on paper, is not the better of these two teams. Washington State right now, definitely the better of these two teams. Give me the Cougs +1 against Arizona State. There's your breakdown. Again, early start action. Don't sleep in on this one. Prez?
Teddy Covers, everybody. And hey, I'm listening, baby. I'm wearing my pink. My hair looks good. I rode the Peloton. My pit stains are out of control. Carmine, Bianco joining us. And I was just on Puck Time with Carmine and Andrew. They do such a great job, Carmine. That Puck Time show is spectacular. Congratulations on its success. Welcome to WagerTalk Today.
Thanks, guys. I know it's short notice. I'm a little miffed that I'm coming on after Kelly. That's like getting your appetizer with your bill because they forgot to serve it to you at the beginning. It's got to be such a letdown for the guys in the chat.
Hey, Carm, there's 5 women in the chat at least, and all of them like them bald. Speaking of bald, right. It's International Bald Day today, and Carm, you're a real trailblazer.
Yeah, man. Teddy, how you doing, Teddy?
Are you wearing earrings? Oh no, those are earbuds because you look like Mr. Clean.
Earbuds.
You know,
Yeah, I
with
do
the,
actually with these things on.
Yeah,
I should really only keep
I'm like,
one in, but it's I'm just
It's a good look, though.
it's the white noise.
Carmine, Bianco, and I, everybody, are putting the shirts together for Wager Talk Puck Time. We've got the shirts. They're in my house. We're going on Friday. We're going to hand screen every one of those shirts. So when you do get them, know that Carmen and I put a lot of love into those shirts. We'll keep you updated about that. Carm, let's get straight. What?
Someone asked in the chat today, can I get my shirt with some of Prez's tears on them? If your hockey team keeps losing, we actually might get that. So that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not here to discuss the Leafs. We're here to discuss two other hockey games and one championship league game. Let's start with the Coyotes versus the Avalanche. Coyotes won last game. You know, Avalanche without Nate McKinnon just can't seem to get much done. He's probable tonight, and I am expecting him to play. The Avs are minus 230 to win, minus 120 in regulation. Carm, what do we do with this game, especially considering we don't know 100% that McKinnon is going to play?
I'm going to go with it's likely a 99%, so which is as close to 100 that Nathan McKinnon will play tonight. Bednar said yesterday that McKinnon was expected to be back tonight, but he's actually on the ice right now during practice in a regular jersey, which signifies that he is going to be in the lineup tonight. So dollars to donuts, he's going to be in there tonight. So when you're capping this game, you can look at that. These teams played the other night, not last night, but 2 nights ago. And it was one of those games where the final, when you're entering the numbers in the day after from the box score and the dangerous chances, the expected goals, everything was in Colorado's favor other than the scoreline. The Coyotes had 7 shots on goal through 2 periods, 14 shots overall. They capitalized. They scored 3 of those 14 shots and won that game 3-2. It's that secondary scoring. It's the Avs, the Oilers. A lot of these teams aren't getting secondary scoring. And then when you take a guy off the top line like McKinnon, somebody's got to step up, and nobody's been stepping up. You get McKinnon back tonight. It's going to help this team. I'm not going to lay that price. I'll tell you right now. You can get a better line by taking the Avs to win in regulation time and lay about 135 on that to take them. It's a nice little revenge spot, getting your best player back into the lineup. And you can probably take the puck line as well, too. I mentioned on Puck Time this morning that you can actually take it, if you're one of those guys and you're a parlay better, you can take the Avs with the game that we're going to discuss next, and you can take them on both on the money line and get about plus 115 on your money.
Carmine, Bianco, everyone, you can find him at wagertalk.com. As good as it gets. Carm, we spoke Colorado and Phoenix. We also spoke Ottawa and Edmonton on Puck Time. And Ottawa, kudos to them, man. 9 wins. I didn't think they would get that many wins this soon in the season. And they've been playing tough. They're a pesky team. They're playing Edmonton tonight. Connor McDavid and Draisaitl held to nothing for 4 games in a row prior to the last game against Ottawa. I think they break out tonight. You got a 6.5 on tap. I told everybody I just bet under 6.5 blind. I feel the same way here. What are you doing in this game? Just a huge favorite for Edmonton.
Yeah, Ottawa came off. That was a good game for Ottawa. They played extremely well. They got outshot. Edmonton had, again, a better percentage of the dangerous chances, of the expected goals. Couldn't get the empty netter, but still won the game 3-2. And Ottawa was coming off an OT loss the night before against Calgary, and then went to their backup goalie and Joey Decord. So it looked like a game that shaped up to be a big Edmonton win. But this is another team that isn't getting that secondary scoring that teams need in order to win. Their goals came from 2 goals from the number 1 line, and their third goal came on the power play So we're not seeing any other scoring throughout that line. They need to get some scoring from that team so they can start moving up the standings if they want to be the team that's likely going to finish in that second spot or third spot behind the Toronto Maple Leafs. As far as the total goes, it's the same thing. Is the 6.5s? I've told people, much like the NFL adjusted in week 5 and 6 with the totals, the NHL is adjusting. These 6.5s aren't as frequent anymore. We're seeing more 6s. We're seeing the 5.5s. And we're seeing more unders. You look at Ottawa and you can say, okay, their goals per game is an average of 6.6. Edmonton's goals per game are an average of 6.2. So shouldn't you be looking at going over 6.5? Well, not necessarily. Ottawa is 46.4% to the over. Edmonton is 46.2% to the over. So these numbers, the goals per game, are skewed by big score lines. Ottawa's been involved in a lot of them early 7-3 score lines where they're on the wrong end of them. Edmonton, a lot of high scoring games with Vancouver, skewing the numbers. Look at the percentage of games that are going under with these teams. And this is why I would say go under 6.5 here. I still think Edmonton wins the game, but you're probably going to see something along the lines of one of those 4-1, 4-2 kind of score lines that stays under the number and gets Edmonton the W.
Let's talk some Champions League soccer today. This one, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, noon on the left coast. So it's not one you want to sleep on if you're going to get a wager down. We have a Liverpool at plus 140, the draw at plus 260, Leipzig at plus 175, and the total 2.75, 2 3/4 for this one. The game being played, of course, in Budapest, Hungary, due to COVID travel restrictions. Now, Liverpool won leg 1 2-0, also in Budapest. But prior to that, they had lost 6 of their last 7. What are your thoughts on Liverpool pulling off another victory today, or is this a Leipzig spot?
Teddy, first of all, God
Hold on,
bless
that was
you.
amazing.
That was
amazing.
Because Teddy actually knows that it's called Champions League and not Championship League. That you keep pronouncing it, Prez. God bless you, Teddy. I love it.
Every name right. He pronounced every name. I mean, guys, Carmine was asked to be on this show 5 minutes before the show started. Teddy pronounced every name right. Knew Liverpool's record, knew the odds, knew it was Champions League. That was amazing.
I love the
Teddy.
man. I love the man.
5 minutes of prep goes a long way, Prez. You should think about it.
Yeah. Woo.
Listen, with that said, the game's being played obviously in Budapest because of there's travel restrictions between English and German teams, between the countries. So they decided to hold both games in Budapest, Hungary, where it would be safe for both to travel. Listen, if you're a Liverpool fan, I hate to say this, you're ahead. You're ahead 2-0. And I think maybe at the end of the day, you're going to advance. But I'm going to make a case for this Leipzig team that are playing extremely well right now to actually get the win today. And they're a price of, I think it was plus 175. They're managed by Julian Nagelsmann, and he's probably one of the best managers right now in all of Europe, and he's going to be sought after by a lot of the big teams. His way of breaking games down and breaking teams down and finding their weaknesses and taking advantage of those weaknesses day in and day out has this team competing with probably the best team in Europe right now, which is Bayern Munich. They're only 2 points back in the Bundesliga. He has done a fantastic job. They made a couple errors in that game against Liverpool in leg 1, and we're probably the better team in the game and yet lost 2-0. 2 goals scored over a 3 or 4 minute span in the second half, 55th and 58th minute. A couple bad mistakes, but this team is going to come at Liverpool today. They're going to get behind that back line. And then the other thing at play here is in these leg 2 type of games, when a team like Liverpool is up 2-0, let's say hypothetically Leipzig are up 1-0. Liverpool do not need to score. They just need not to concede. These games are played over two legs, 2 games, total goals, with the away goals counting as if you're tied after the 2 games, the away goals count as double. So this game could easily finish 3-1 for Leipzig, and Liverpool still advances. in the game. So if I have that correctly, I believe. So as far as it goes, yes, I'm going to go with Leipzig here. I'm going to lean to the over as well too. I think we see some goals, kind of like we saw yesterday in both those games. Both those games went over the total, and Leipzig it is today at plus 175.
Carmine, Bianco, Carm, you killed it, man. Great stuff. I can't thank you enough. I mean, Arthur DeCesar is supposed to be on at this time, and he was called into work. We love Art. He's really great on the show, but you had no notice, and you slayed it. Thank you for joining us, brother. Stay around if you want to hear what I'm betting, because it's the penalty box segment, baby. Killed it yesterday. Went down the board top to bottom. You guys go back and listen to that show. And I mean, I was right on almost everything. Empty netter in the Rangers game took that under away from us. But other than that, I think I called every single game. So let's do it again. 5 games tonight. This time I'm going to keep it inside of my 2 minutes, which will be hard. Minnesota and Vegas. I like Vegas tonight. Revenge spot. Put up a 0 last game, a duck, as they call it in cricket, against Minnesota. I think they bounce back, get it done. Vegas tonight, I also like them in regulation. That's a huge dog in regulation. So check that out. Edmonton and Ottawa, I like Edmonton in regulation. I'll be betting that play, and I'll be betting the Vegas play. Colorado, Arizona, I like over the total of 5.5, and I like Colorado in regulation. I think you should bet both of those guys. Anaheim and LA Kings. This is a game I am not betting, but I do like under the total of 5.5 in the LA Kings Anaheim game. And Vancouver and Montreal, if you listen to my analysis on Monday, I said take Vancouver at plus 130. They're a better team than Montreal. I think this is the right spot for Montreal, and you're getting them at minus 140, but I can't play them. I still think Vancouver is better, so this game is a pass for me. Teddy Covers! I did it in 2 minutes, baby.
Yes. Yes, you did.
I'm so complimentary. Prez, you're a trailblazer in this industry. You know that? Why, thank you. You know, you saw everything happening. You've been in this industry since 1999. You've molded Teddy to be as great as he is. Okay, I'm done. Teddy,
Yeah.
Gianni tomorrow, Dave Koken, take us home, brother.
Absolutely. So I want to thank my co-host. I'm not sure why, but let's thank him anyway. Prez, great show today, buddy. Of course, let's thank Kelly Stewart for joining us. Let's thank Carmine Bianco for joining us on very short notice. We'll have Arthur DeCesar back on next Wednesday. He got called in at the last minute. Guys with real jobs sometimes have to work them. I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to hang out with Prez and I. Please, before you leave, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a follow, and comments are much appreciated. Even if you just write comment, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll be back again tomorrow, 23 hours and 15 minutes from now, right here on WagerTalk Today. Until then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Each and every Thursday, sportsmemo.com goes back in time, and you can daily pick packages priced at only $5. And yes, for those wondering, that includes 5% best bets, normally priced at $30. This is the real Throwback Thursday. As an added bonus, all first-time customers will be credited $25 in WagerBucks after their initial $5 purchase. So each and every Thursday, make sure to go to sportsmemo.com and get best bets from the hottest cappers for only $5.